Hey folks, hello world. Welcome to today's stream. Hello, just let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Uh, Otherwise, let's get started. So let me see. If you guys haven't watched the last episode yet, it's I have linked it uh, in the description below. Do check that out. You can skip like the between part where I spend a long time searching for an issue. You can skip that part, but other than that, you can watch that. It's good to go. It is all timestamps, so you can just skip that part. But if you want, you can have a look at it. That this was the plan for the last episode. Let me start with the introduction, basic setup, basic structure of the Flutter framework. We can contribute, and then finding an issue, solving it, raising a PR, and then finally Q&A. Today's plan would be to start like kickstart like the last episode. I just talked about that, and then there's kickstart Flutter, where I have again linked it in the description under the useful links. That's the if you I didn't mention it last time, but if you are not familiar with Flutter a lot, I already have a video on that, 2 hour session that I took over at Code with KD's channel. You can check that video out to help you kickstart Flutter. Today's plan again is quite simple. It's just find an issue, or actually discuss last time's last issue, and then discuss last issue. Like I'll share the progress or updates on the last issue, and then find an issue, uh, work on like solve the issue, and then raise a PR. Obvious. So for the last issue, let me see. GitHub Flutter pulls by created by. So the last issue was closed, the one that we raised last time, which was this one, because I got a message from Taha that said that this is already in the works, and he has already worked on this in a previous in his personal PR. So like it's already handled, so we can skip this. So that's why this was closed. And in the meantime, I raised another PR and got it merged. This was related to like a previous PR that I had created, which was about the fade in image following the gapless playback. And there was like an edge case I missed, and I just created a PR for that. It caused like a regression issue. This was my first regression, so yay, I guess. And yeah, and the issue was raised and I fixed it. Oh wait, who liked it? Okay. It, there was a few comments and then this got merged. So yeah. Today again we can start with a new. I haven't taken a look at this. Let's see if we can find a good issue to solve. Also like last time, yeah, from last time there was one issue that wasn't fixed yet. So after like this PR was closed, I tried to understand how we can prevent this error to happen. So there was a comment from Ian Surian that where we can add some kind of test somewhere in the file, somewhere in the framework structure where such that these error don't happen. Like there is a we can add a test for gen defaults. That's it. So he had suggested that we can check out. Wait, let me pull up the message. Uh, 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 uh. Yeah, test can be put in either devbots analyzed or devbots test. So let's first check that out. If you don't know the context for this, last time the error that we were trying to fix was in, wait, where was it? Was it in bin? No, I don't think so. It was in bin. This was dev tools gen defaults. Okay, dev tools gen defaults. Yeah. So in this bin, gen, no, not this. I'm sorry. Yeah, gen defaults bin. This file, a few of the the file names were incorrect. Maybe I'm still on that branch. Yeah, I'm still. So let's do GCO master, and then we can also sync it once. So GitHub flutter, and then we can sync this fork 129 commits since the last time we saw, and then ggplug. Yeah, so I'm assuming this is fixed now. No, it's not fixed. Oh, I guess his PR is not merged yet. Oh, it is merged. Am I missing something? Flutter lib. I'm sorry, yeah, src, and then material action chip. Yeah, chip action. Wait, this is not fixed yet. Was it not handled in this PR? Oh, okay, okay. This was reverted. Okay. So fixes this. There should be a new. Oh, okay. There is not a new PR yet. But this was reverted. Okay, so Hari land. Okay. This is still open, which I'm assuming also fixes this gen defaults. We can comment here that renaming template class names to action start chips. Okay, we can also do this. And which was this? Chip action to action chip. Okay, so the file names have been updated. from chip action to action chip, but not the actual template name. So the template name should also be template class name should also be updated. Add single comment. That's it. Yeah. Okay. We can. Yeah. So let's discuss. Okay. So yeah, adding a test for this. This is also something that I still need to learn. So let's try to understand. So it was okay. Let me read that again. It's bots analyze. Analyze data. Yeah. It's okay. Path of the data executable set at the top of the main path of the pub executable. Uh, when you call this, you can pass additional arguments, parameters. For example, when crash analyze data dash SDK is equal to okay. Verify goldens, verify deprecations, string working directory. Maybe we can pick that up a little later. It can get a little too meta. So okay, certain canvas operations. I'll note this part. Yeah, certain canvas operations should allow physical pixel alignment. Physical pixel alignment. Okay, canvas is a little bit more. Remove Finder's Explorer from live testing. Using web view leads to size error in platform view since 3.0. Barrier color does not change when nesting scrollable widgets in draggable scrollable sheet. Make a draggable drag cancelable. Okay, let's first check this. Hello, I recently ran into a problem where barrier color does not change opacity when nesting a scrollable widget in a draggable scrollable sheet. Moreover, if I use static widgets, then everything is okay. Simply make a tile with child single scroll view list view. Drag the scrollable widget so that the tile scrollable starts collapsing once the barrier color change. Expected results, actual results. Okay, so expected results is the barrier color is just changing alpha, and the actual results is barrier color does not change alpha. Okay, I can reproduce this, reproduce on master and stable info video code sample. Okay, let's check this out. And till that time, let's open. Yeah, trackable scrollable sheet, and this is a container for a scrollable section that corresponds to a drag gesture when resizing the scrollable until the image is reached, and then scrolling. There is a YouTube video for this.
Say you need to swipe a widget into view, and say you need that widget to be scrollable when it's on screen. There's a widget for that. It's called Draggable Scrollable Sheet. To get started, provide a builder argument. The builder should return a scrollable widget like single child scroll view or list view. Pass the scroll controller parameter to the scrollable widget. You can also customize the initial, minimum, and maximum size that the widget will take up. These are defined as a fraction of the available space. For more on draggable scrollable sheet and other Flutter widgets, check out the
Yeah, okay,
parameter.
this is obvious. Yeah, this will take a little bit of time because Flutter, I updated the Flutter and it's downloading. So yeah, till that time, let's see. Okay, a container, blah blah blah. Okay, this widget is dragged along with vertical axis between its min child size, which defaults to 0.25, and max child size, which is 1. Okay, so it will go from 0.25 to 1. Widget coordinates resizing and scrolling of the widget returned by the builder. The widget will initially be displayed uh, as the initial child size, which defaults to 0.5, meaning half of the height of the parent. Dragging will work. Okay, with scroll view and with scroll view. Okay, this works. What? I am getting the grayed out part. Which, I'm sorry, which device is this running on? Is it specific to Android? No issues found. HTTP, Chrome, Xcode. Okay, the device is not listed here. I don't know why. No issues found. HTTP. Okay. This is changing opacity with scroll view. What is with scroll view? Toggleable scroll view. So this is a switch and a shows a model barrier. Dragging a scrollable sheet with scroll view. It will be a single child scroll view with the widget. Otherwise, okay. Okay, so I need to shrink this guy and then test. This is still graying out. Scroll does not work here. Oh, maximum is no, but still scroll should work. Why is scroll not working here? Expand to true, expand equals false, snap equals true. Hmm. Model bottom sheet, use root navigator. Yeah, this is just toggle states. This will just show the bottom sheet. So this is the bottom sheet widget, which just passes in the toggleable scroll view. And the child is just a map that is 10. Let's make it 100. This doesn't scroll. Oh, it doesn't scroll with a mouse. Oh, I mean this thing. Oh, that's my bad. Okay, so it scrolls. Okay, after this scrolls with the mouse, it doesn't work. I mean, with the touchpad, but with the mouse, it works. It's just a touchpad thing, and without the scroll, this will just throw an error. But the graying part still works. Okay, it's a scrollable thing only. So when it scrolls, That's the two finger scroll. If I do, then it doesn't work. Okay. Let's understand. The widget can be dragged along the vertical axis between its this and max child. Widget coordinates resizing and scrolling of the widget returned by the builder as the user drags along the horizontal axis. The widget coordinates resizing and scrolling of the widget returned by the builder as the user scrolls and drags on the widget will be initially placed at the initial child size with the default to 0.5, meaning half of the height of the parent. Dragging will work between the range of min child size and max child size as percentages of the parent container height as long as the builder creates a widget which uses the provider's scroll controller. If the widget created by the scrollable widget does not provide scroll controller, the sheet will remain in the initial size. This is a sample that shows list widgets 25 list styles as it starts with taking half a scaffold and it can be dragged up to the full height. What full height list contains will be scrolled up. Okay, can seamlessly align widgets with typical cell size. Text pan stuff. Transition animation fails to complete when to complete when popping a route and then a page route. Add animated image controller to communicate with animated images. Selection area with custom actions and actions for overlay. Mistake in child layout. Please make this return bool to indicate successful. Like set option does. Documentation. The text should document that it so returns error. Remove static enumeration within the new enum class. Uh, we'll land back again to this. The on selected changed callback was added to selection area by this, but the callback it is only given plain text. It is not equivalent to unselection tags of selectable text. I just about this, so refer to the comment starting from there. Use as an app is a feature highlight text to piece of context when the user picks in Peter. There is no way to tell which one of the two select picks selects pick in Peter Pan picked a peck of pickled peppers. There is the way to tell which of the two picks is that is highlighted without necessary info selection. The above is the course just for an example. There should be more use case that is proposal. The on selected change callback or select say receives detailed information about the selected just like selection options. The arguments with the same name as selection area should behave in the same way. It is not because both have the same name, but because I think it must in most there must be cases or functionality to implement an app that cannot be achieved with okay selectable text in selection area. Run off selectable text in a single style.
Have you ever wanted to make some display text in your app selectable? Selectable text will give you exactly that. Selectable text has
Okay, and how is it different from selectable area? But oh, selection area. A widget that introduces area for user selection with adaptive selection controls. This widget creates a selectable region with platform adaptive controls. Flutter widgets are not selectable but to enable selection specific symbols are wrapping body of a route with selection area. Okay, so this is a selection area which is wrapped with center column and then child with these texts. If I add like a icon, I can't select the icon. Okay, so this is not for all the widgets. Body of the route. Okay, it's a stateful widget with the focus node. It has a few platform controls and then it returns a selection area. Okay, it'll take a long time to deep dive that. Okay, let's just do this one, the one that we had picked last time. Since okay, so this just says again to use the existing M3 chip style call action chip and Flutter as the default for vanilla. For this, no, just chip. We just go into chip dot dart and then this is we are in chip and then in the raw chip. Let's just test this by default properties and then so yeah, chip theme data. And in gen defaults, dev tools, gen defaults, with gen defaults, chip action, chip choice and input, and I can just copy this guy here and comment it and call it just chip with the action chip details, and then this will work. So if I do mask this thing, it is oh sorry, yeah, so this should create the required stuff here at the bottom. Yeah, and then we have this thing which says is enabled. Now, is enabled is not particularly valid for this thing, right? Because this can either exist or not exist. So is enabled is just used for the sized. This thing is always enabled, and when it is disabled, chips are compatible on supplying non-null on deleted callback. It will cause the chip to include a button for deleting, say, button for deleting the chip. Okay, yeah, okay. So since this thing doesn't have an enabled property, we don't need this. And the theme that will be used will be just a normal theme. Okay, and now let's see how does a chip work. Made tap, and then this will be a chip, right? Flutter. Why does analysis not work? Yeah, okay, now it works. What's the required for chip? Label. Okay, label, not title. This is expected semicolon. So material app bar and then a chip in a container. I don't know why that is important. Yeah, okay. Where's the remove? Remove unnecessary content. And then if the theme that I use material 3 false. Oh, sorry, true. This thing changed. Okay, the color is there, it's just not visible correctly. I'll just wrap this with a colored box. Color, start, let's say blue. Oh, haha. Swap with parrot. Yeah, okay. So if this is false, I get this. If this is true, I get this. And just for comparison, let's also use a. I don't need the center. Instead, I need a column where we can add a chip and then a action chip. Okay, wait. Why is this? Okay, the action chip being enabled, for that we need to pass on pressed. So let's also pass on pressed. Yeah, both are enabled now in material 3. But if this is set to false, both of them became almost similar. Okay, if it's true, both become same. So let's also check with M3. That's M3 dot material. And then styles components may chips. We have the assist, filter, input, and suggestion. We have the assist specs. What happens if we also pass on deleted thing? Colored box and then on deleted. So this guy gets across, but this guy doesn't have a on deleted. Oh, it has. No, action chip does not have an on deleted, but the chip has, normal chip has. So since this is just supposed to be an action and this can be deleted. Hmm. So now the states match, but now we need to uh, code this well, improve the code. Let's see how action chip is tested. So since this works, we should add a test first. Let's go into the testing folder. That's test, or we can just search it. Action chip test. What? Uh, Not this. Is it chip action test? Oh, okay. This is also not renamed. Haha. Okay, so we can also rename this thing. Suppose this should also be renamed. It's chip filter test and chip input test, not action chip and stuff like that. Chip test, chip choice test, and chip. What are the other chips? Scheme, no, the circle. Input, filter, choice, action. Yeah, these four. I don't know where I was looking. Yeah, so where does this is the test for material 3? Huh. Hmm. There is no test for this. Okay, let's check GitHub, Flutter, pulls. There is no test for material as such, like here, like being material. So let's check that. Chip. And then update chip names, migrate chips to material 3. Yeah. Here, there is no test, I'm assuming. Yeah, there is chip theme test. Okay. There is just chip theme test. And then chip input, output, and stuff like that. Chip action chip and then templates. So this just tests for theme, and theme is already tested. Huh, this could be tricky because we need to add a test for this. I don't think there is a way to add a test for this. Use for assistant suggestion chips, filter chips for singleton chips, and then input chip. Okay. Huh. Default chip. These names after the updates, then only I can add this. So that's that. Updated files, then chip filter. I should also comment this there that oh no, not this. Reland, yeah. Also, uh, names of the test files should be updated. Maybe a general commenter for that. What was the name of the test files again? It's chip underscore star underscore. Yeah. So chip underscore star underscore test dot to star underscore chip underscore test. Names of the test files should be updated. Oh, just a general comment. Okay, so that will also be done. This seems to look fine to me. Now, this will also be updated later anyway. So let's, this is just for chip. This can be deleted. And then we'll have just one line, right? Yeah. Begin token chip and then end token chip. Okay. And then here, this will update to chip defaults. Although this is same as action chip defaults. I need to remove the enable part. So I can't add a same. Oh, I have to create a new one. So let's just copy the template and create a new template for this. So live right, gen default slip. Yeah. So this will have a new file or a dart file called chip template. And just paste this and replace action with just chip. Yeah, this will generate. We don't need enabled, and hence we also don't need this. It will always be enabled. Yeah, and in gen defaults we can add this to chip template, import chip template, and then apply it to chip. Oh wait, I should also remove it from the arguments, correct? No, not this. Chip. I can close this out and then cancel, rerun the command. And now this works. Okay. So if this is if we use material 3, then defaults material 3 is used, otherwise no default, and then that default is passed to this thing. So again, if we rerun this, I should be expecting the same result. Yes, and if this is false, it'll be material 2. I'm thinking that there may be cases where this raw chip takes in properties that are, sorry, it takes in defaults for properties that are not applicable to chip, like highlighting. Like action button can be hovered and clicked and it has a shadow, but chip doesn't, or does it? Wait, no, this does not have an uprest. It's just on deleted. Chip is just on deleted and that's it. It is just a chip that can be deleted. So it doesn't have a disabled color. Although it has a delete icon color. Okay, this is weird. So chip has the delete icon option and then delete icon color and stuff like that. But action chip does not have a delete icon. Yeah. So, but uh, action chip does include it, delete icon. Oh, it's null. And is this same thing for chip? But my left may be premature. Yeah. Disable color, delete icon color is null. Huh. Chip. Okay. Chip assist, chip filter, chip input. It doesn't have a close icon. Hmm. It has a disabled icon, but it does not have a delete icon. So this is the like the JSON file where all the defaults exist for chip assist and consequently for others. This is in like dev tools gen defaults data. So this only doesn't include it. So neither will this thing. Disable container delete icon is select with icon selected icon color. Okay, someone from an expert side will be able to help me if I need help for this. So I can get that when I raise the PR. And then, yeah, I suppose it's done. But the only issue is this thing still does not have a test. And I have no idea how to add a test for this. I mean, how do I add a test for a UI thing? But there is no precedence for this. There is no existing test. Bots test. Maybe I can add a test here. Verify null initialized expensive fields. So this is like the master or the main class, main function that is run from here. And this run function consists of all the tests. We can add a test here for the file path correctness thingy. So the test for this, we are trying to test if all the files that are named in genlib, these file names are correct. Okay, I don't know how to do that. Let's see. Token files are fine, I suppose. How do I get this file name? This is a template, right? This extends a template. Yeah, token template. And token template contains file names. Okay, so we can do something like uh, put all of these in one list of files. Okay, oh sorry, list of token templates is equal to a list of token templates. This can be const, I suppose. This can also be final, or actually const. Okay, maybe this can become non-const. And then, wait, let me remember. What was it? Okay, I'll need to search that. Haha. Multi-line select in IntelliJ. So it's Control Alt Shift click. Control Alt Shift click. Control Alt Shift click. Yeah, it's actually center click. That's it. Yeah, I just remembered. So this thing and then to the end and then yes. Control X and here I'll just do Control V and then again select all the lines, go to the end and then add a comma. These are non-const I'm assuming, so this will be final. Yeah, and here instead of calling all these update files, it will just be um, for each. That's for tem token template in token templates template dot update file. Make final fine. Yeah, or I suppose a token templates dot for each which takes in an element and then element dot update file. This is the same thing, but whatever. Template token template. What's the error here? Oh, okay. Yeah, correct. So if we have a function, then for each is good. But since you don't have a function, we are calling a function on the template, then this should work fine. Oh, but the problem still stays that token templates. I need to be able to access this file in the tests. How do I do that? So even though I've extracted this into one thing, and now I can check if the file exists or not. Like I can add a test for that, but uh, I need to be able to access this file from where did it go analyze? Yeah, let's close everything else. Yeah. I need to be able to access this file name. Oh, sorry, this variable. So verify no double clamp. Verify that we use double clamp instead of double dot clamp for performance reasons. So what this does is it has a parser. This is a test. Okay, we have gone over an hour. This reads all the Dart files in the flutter lib path, which is just the working directory package lib, and then it checks, parses the file, it gets a parse result, What is this parsing result? There is a content, that is a contents of the file that was scanned and parsed. Analysis errors, line info in unit, unresolved compilation unit. Double clamp visitor is a double clamp visitor that visits double clamps. Recursive AST visitor, okay. And it checks if the method name is clamp. Okay. If the node's method name is clamp, then it checks this. And then it checks if it doesn't contain a ignore clamp double lint, then it adds it to the clamps list. And then it just returns a null. So it just checks for nodes. Verify tool tests and then test start. Okay, so this just checks if all the tests and then test start. That's what I was assuming. Verify no sync async a star. We need a function that can check that function, check this function. Yeah, check these token variables, token templates. I can just get that field now. The same way analysis got the double, yeah, the double clamp visitor parses the result and then it checks the node dot method name dot name, and then if it is clamp. If it is clamp, it just gets the get line and then it checks if the line contains this. Okay, and then that's visit method invocation. An AST visitor that will recursively visit all the nodes in the AST structure. For example, using an instance of the class to visit a block will cause all the statements in the block to be visited. Subclasses that override a visit method must either invoke the overwritten method visit or must explicitly ask the visit node to visit its children. Failure to cause to will cause the children to visit it, to not be visited. Okay, that's fine. We can get the line by get line parse result node dot function dot offset. Invocation is either a function of a method or a method. Invocation of functions resulting in evaluating expression result done by. Okay, let's test this, man. There is no other way to understand this other than testing it. So if we have a double line parser, we have a get line, so we can also have like a class double clamp visitor, similarly we can have a update file uh, gen token template update file visitor extends recursive AST visitor of time compilation unit. Okay, and then this will just have the constructor for this. This will take in this dot parse result, and then we'll have not the clamps, but instead file names. Okay, and this has underscore line. Underscore line is just line content, int line and content. Yeah, that's it. So I suppose that's fine. And then we need to override visit method invocation or visit fields, field declaration. Okay, and then let's say I do print node dot or as a node, I suppose. Yeah. Here this guy did node dot visit children. This and return null. So let's do the same thing. Okay, and this thing just prints node. Let's. Oh, how do I even run this? Master dot. I don't think it's Flutter. Dev slash bot slash analyze dot dot. Oh, okay. Let's just run this thing and nothing else. Oh, I haven't even used this. What am I even running? So in the run function, which is right here, let's comment everything. It's a big function. Yeah. And verify, what was that? No double clamps. So we can have a print progress. No, no, sorry. Correct file names in gen defaults. Then we will have the await verify correct file names uh, token template file names flutter root, and since this function doesn't exist we'll have to create it. But create function, what will this return is this thing future void. So this will naturally be async, and then we'll be using this thing, not this. Yeah. Where did, yeah, we'll use this visitor, the same visitor that was used here. Did I create the file? What? Yeah. So what this does is it gets the flutter lib path. We don't need flutter lib path. We need, let's move this function down so that it's easier to understand and copy. Yeah, so we don't need flutter path. We need the dev gen defaults file path. So working directory, and instead of packages flutter lib, we'll do dev, what was it? Dev tools gen defaults /bin /gen defaults dot dot. This is just the gen defaults file. It's correct, right? Tools gen defaults bin gen defaults dot dot. Correct. Now we have the gen defaults dot file. Now we need to get all the files. We don't actually need the file. How do we get the file? Acha, it's just this file. That's so easy. So to get the file, we just need to do this thing, and this thing we can call as bin directory, and we can cut this. So this will be the file name, and then this thing. So we have idea file is equal to this thing. Okay. Yeah, finally. Now after we have the file, now we can do a parsing result on this thing, on the absolute path. So parse result of the file. Okay. And then pass the result into the visitor. So we have the visitor is equal to this thing with the parse result. Let's see till now what we get. We need to go into bots to run this. No, it's still the same error. create file as video comments, then those of the overridden method file dot create. Okay, it's checking the executables from the Dart directory directly. Ah, okay, enable allow list is bin slash dart bin slash flutter. Huh. Find flutter dependencies, not this, not these either. Run command. Path to the dart command. Set to the top of the main. How do we get this? Dart SDK. And that SDK is done for directory current absolute path. And then it goes to flutter root bin cache dart SDK. Okay, let's run this like this then. Hmm. Okay. Huh. Print does not work. Print progress may work. So this was the issue. I just hadn't done pubget. So now also like I should here also I should instead of print progress. Print progress takes in a string dot to string. Oh, all the files that end in dot. Okay, this doesn't have a class. This is a global variable in main. Adjacent string annotation argument list as expression assert assertion argument await binary block block function body block function body. This is interesting. Cascade class comment configuration constructor continued declared identifier default formal parameter double literal empty statement enum constant argument empty function body export expression field formal parameter for each parts for element what is for element basic structure of a for element so field for parts for function declaration generate type integer instance map literal list literal clients may not extend or implement terms in this class a list literal okay return null and then node dot set children this okay if I move this to global does that work it has a few values that are created here so no. Function declaration for statement named expression mixed declaration method invocation invocation of either function of or a method invocation of functions resulting expression are represented by these okay let's do the same thing here this thing will return null. Hmm. How do I test this how do I add an analysis what are the examples of classes that declare it globally file noise sync verify golden tags verify deprecations I can also just get the file and then just to read like the sync. Okay, I don't even need these. Need this. Uh, token updater stuff. I got the file. Now I can do the string distance is equal to file read string sync. This I'm assuming will print the entire file. Let's see. Yeah, correct. And now I need to just check for this. Function argument my second argument. But this is very specific. This will become very specific. I need something to be like a declaration. It needs to be declaration specific, not file structure specific. Uh, all new declarations. I don't know how to check that. Instance invocation. Verify golden tags, verify deprecations. So this thing checks for a find deprecation pattern, which is this the regular expression for deprecated and then ignore deprecation. Lines of deprecation. Number, line number +1. If there is a word of deprecation, it should fit the pattern. It may or may not fit the pattern. Let's see if there is a doc in and lines. Not using dart analyzer. Bots. Oh, this needs to be deprecated. This is also like something that can be done, but there is no text for analyze bots. Can I search across files? Not sure. Mm, okay. Verify deprecations is just checking if the line contains after it got the line. For all the lines, if the line contains, then it checks the pattern if the pattern fits. Major, minor, and yeah. General licenses, verify no missing license. This is also no missing license for extension. Skip text, test commits. Um, Analyzer. Second argument should be this. That is after the comma, this entire string that exists. I mean, I can't see any other way as to get this hard coded. It's a Dart package now. AST visitor. Recursive AST visitor flutter. Or actually Dart. An AST visitor is recursive with all the nodes of the AST structure. For example, you can use an instance of a class that visits a block. Will cause all the statements in a block to visit subclasses that override this statement. Sequence of statement block is statement classes class statement except this class. Block one, correct. And then in that block we'll get child entities, that syntactic entity, that syntactic entity. Visitor test. This can be very helpful. Okay, this is not that helpful. What was the other? What slash test? I don't think this is it because this runs the tests if slash repository. Just brute force it, man. This is taking a long time. Let's just brute force it and see how it goes. So we can remove this thing. I got the file, and now we can add lines dot for all the lines that end, that contain. Okay, so we can revert this thing since we are not going to go in a structured way. We can go back to the way this was presented previously. And then we can just search for update files. All the update file, we can just search for this thing, all the lines that contain this, and then check for the second string here. Since all of them exist in material lib, what is material lib? Packages flutters src material. Yeah, this is material theme. Obviously it will exist in material lib, so we just need this app underscore bar dot art and then check if this file actually exists. So now we can do lines dot filter name all matches. Wait, let's was doing this thing. If line, acha, if for all the lines, okay, so this just does if for all the lines, if line contains okay, I'm in chip. I don't want to be in chip. Lines is list of line. Read as lines sync, not read as list read as string. This will return a list of strings. And then for all the strings in this line, I need to check if line dot contains update file. If it does contain update dot file, then I need to perform action on that. That is, I need to search for the second function name, second argument, and then check if that file exists. Set defaults. So this will be after the first comma. I can just search for the material lib text slash line dot index of a pattern, that is material lib slash slash dot. Wow. Right, that's fine, perfect. So I get the index of this and the index of next index of comma. First chunk, that's the index from here, and then the index of the semicolon. Oh, sorry, inverted comma. Now this is supposed to be a string, but this is an index. So line dot substring starting from here. Here is the position of the first match of the pattern. This is inclusive. So if the string is dartisans of art is 1. Okay, so this will return the first index. I have to actually add this part. That is length of the string. Now Now we go to the second half, and then I need to cut this off at the, so I will get on the final string file name as second half dot substring at line dot start being 0 and end, oh sorry, end being line dot index of and inverted comma, or just an inverted comma. Yeah. Now we have the file name. Let's check print progress file name. Oh, not line, second half. I got the file names. Perfect. And now I just need to check if the file name is correct. And then finally, I'll check if file name. Now, how do I check that? Now I need the material lib path. So that's the path, right, from the working directory. Final string material lib path is equal to path.join working directory, comma packages, comma flutter, comma lib, comma material. Okay. Then after we get the material lib path, I need to check if a file exists. So for, sorry, for, no, I just have this file name now. So file equals file with the path, that's material lib path comma file name, then path.join. Then assert file dot exists. See, assert doesn't work. Throw. This is a pattern, I guess. All the functions have this thing. That's the, okay, fail if the errors, if there are any errors. So I need to do the same thing where I'll have this thing here, and then there will be a list of string mirrors, and here I have to do else dot add file $file does not exist. Oh, this is all of them don't exist. Oh, not file name. Wait. Gen defaults, the path for material is SRC. I've missed SRC. In fact, as expected. Okay. I can also get this thing, I suppose. That is where okay, so this works, the analysis works, but one, I need to fix this error, like need a better error and add a text, and two, maybe I can fetch this from this file directly. Let's check. So so I'm doing starting from here itself. So the exclamation is also counted. Then the path for this I can just get from here. That is from root directory, and then this thing. After I check for the first index of material lib, uh, material lib directory. This will actually be from the file itself. Hmm. So file dot first index name, not file, not even file, it's lines. Yeah, lines dot where first element dot contains, it's actually string space material lib. This is what string, right? String element. Actually, this is line, and then dot um I need, after I get the material line, I need to get the string. That is the first and then the last. So substring that starts from this line syntax. Okay. String get material dir from lines. So here I'll get the string line and then line dot substring line dot first index of the first semicolon and then line dot last index of the semicolon. I'll return this thing and this will be fine. So here I'll do get material directory from lines. Yeah, I got the material directory and then I can replace all this with material lib. And now I am fetching this from that file directly instead of hard coding it here. Oh wait, I still need to add that now. String relative. Oh sorry, yeah, relative. This is also catching this, which I don't want. So I need to skip that by adding a +1 here because it will return the index of this thing, but I don't need the index of this semicolon from here. And yeah, perfect. Action choice input does not exist. Okay, and what was how does the message printed? Yeah, see this thing. Okay, so What message should I put in here? Uh, what are the sample messages that already exist? Do not use. An error, multiple errors were detected while looking at import dependencies within Flutter package. Okay, so files, these files were these files were these files are supposed to, what should be the string? These files were across 2 hours. My god, let me speed it up. These files were imported, no, or remove the empty defaults gen or remove them from the gen defaults dot file from the slash dev slash bins slash dev slash tools slash gen defaults slash bin slash gen defaults dot file. Okay, file this does not exist, file this does not exist, file this does not exist, file this does not exist. Please correct the file name or remove them from the defaults.dart file. Is it only bold or can I also add like code? Bold, red, green, yellow, cyan, white, reset. That's it. I don't know if saying please is errors dot length is more than one question mark s colon empty string. Oh, so this will be $s. So please correct the file's name I don't think from the is necessary, it's just from. Sorry. So finally, please correct the file name or names or remove it or them from. If I actually remove them, chip action and input, yeah, then they should pass. This passes, but if I just have one, remove its or they are updation from this thing. Get file path, file name, list of string lines, then what's the error here? What error lib string? Well, if I add this check also, there will be an issue that current tests will fail. I'll have to update these two. Refactorize Shift F6. Okay. Input chip template, filter chip template, then action chip template. Shift F6. Are these the only three templates? Chip action, chip filter, chip input, and chip. Okay. Filter, chip, then input chip. Okay. And similar thing for tests. That is chip action test, action chip test, chip filter test, filter chip test, chip input test, input chip test, and chip choice test. Choice chip test. So now in material, action chip and action chip test, choice chip and choice chip test, filter chip and filter chip test and filter chip template, and then input chip test, input chip template, input chip. Yeah, and now the test should also pass. Okay, let's also once. I don't think I can run that material test. Oh wait, let's uncomment all the others and see. Which part are we in? I'm in the last phase of like testing the. There was a issue that we found in the last session, last episode, and we found a bug while fixing some different issue, and now we are. I'm writing a test to prevent that issue to crop up again, which is not a generic test. It's like an analysis test, and even I'm learning and understanding how that works. So yeah, I hope that clears it out. If you want more specific, it's gen defaults. This is a file that generates defaults for the new M3 uh, design. So all the widgets that have been migrated to M3, their defaults have been saved here or listed here, and this file generates all the defaults in those files. This this file is like a script that will place generated all the defaults in the file names of those widgets. And this is a test to make sure that these file names are correct. That's it. Um, Print progress, collect file names in default gen, and then verify. And show gen difference correct file names. Okay, now this gives an exception on internationalization, but I don't think that's just because of my code. So I'm going to ignore that. There may be some configuration that I'm missing. Okay, alphabetical order. Okay, nice imports. Perfect. Let's raise a CR for that now. So we'll do gco-b. What are the net? Fix chip file names. Uh, Not the error that I'm fixing, but some other error that has cropped up that I'm assuming is not related to me. Yeah, because I'm not doing anything related to internationalization. So that's not the error that I'm working on, but I'm assuming this error is due to something else. That's why I'm ignoring it. Even if I comment this, let's see. If I comment this and test it. Oh, pub get issue. Master flutter upgrade packages. And this international error is maybe because of the pubget situation. Let's see if pubget fixes it. Hmm. Okay, that was correct. It was because of pubget. Internationalization error doesn't come up again. Huh, analyst script must be run with enable. Okay, this is the only error and this can be ignored because this just says that enable asserts to run with enable asserts. Okay, I don't know how important that is. But yeah, I did run it with enable asserts. Okay, but everything else passes. So okay, right. Why was it in middle of committing? So I have unversion file that's chip template. Okay, correct. So I have the action chip template where I just change the name and the file name chip action for rename from chip action to action chip. Yeah, action chip from chip action, and then action chip test from chip action test analyze where I added a function in the analysis, and that analysis function does all this. Then I have chip, then I have the chip test where I just renamed it filter chip, renamed and file gen defaults filter chip for the same thing, gen defaults renaming of the files and adding this thing, that's chip template. Then you have input chip and then input chip test. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, print progress is part of the, like, it shows the progress, that's it. uh, Print progress is not here in this thing, in the actual function, because like I had added it previously for debugging, but print progress mm, is part of the script. It shows what's the progress. uh, yeah, correct, like logging for when the script is analysis actually occurs. Come, uh, what was I looking for? Fixing file or fixing incomplete file names. No, um, fixing and add fixed and added a test. I don't know what tense to use here. This is something that I struggle with. What tense should be used for a commit? Should it be a past tense or a present continuous tense? Fixed inconsistent file names for chip underscore star or star underscore chip and added a test to prevent added a test for it. Past. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Fixed inconsistent file names for star underscore chip dot files and added a test for it. Yeah, like there are 2 points for that. One, I am not much familiar with it, even though I know what it is, conventional. And two is, like in Flutter, don't not a lot of people use it. So it's not a convention that is followed, even though I'm not a part of the debate of whether it is good or not, but it's just that I'm not well versed with it. I'm not informed enough. Fixed inconsistent file names for star underscore chip file names and added a test for it. Yeah, comment. Push dash o dash u. Then git flutter passwords. I can go to that function that I closed. That and file names and corresponding file names in test slash material slash became inconsistent, or I can just say test or test files or and corresponding test file names became inconsistent. This PR fixes those file and template names and adds an analysis test to prevent it from happening again. X. I have read the contributor, I have read the tree hygiene, I have read the flutter I have signed, I have not listed issue, I have updated the relevant doc, no, I added new test and the current tests are passing. The way I have tested the, I have tested What is signed CLA? A CLA is just what is it? Contributor license agreement. So it's just agreement with Google developers that whatever code you submit is open source, and whenever you want to uh, contribute to any of the Google's repositories or packages, you need to sign it before you can merge your commit. The way I have tested in dev slash bots most probably is uh, can be improved is very no, it's not preliminary. What's the word I'm looking for? It's it can be, yeah, correct. It's just a policy agreement. The way I've tested in what's can uh, not the way I've tested is since I'm not of how to test in my test can open to trivial. It's non-trivial. I mean, it's not trivial exactly. So it's opposite of trivial. I can't write it's non-trivial. That means it's difficult, but it's difficult for me because I'm not aware about it. I'm open to suggestions or talks to read more. Since I'm not aware of how to test in dev slash bots slash analyze, my test can be highly improved. Huh. Let's hope the tests pass. Fingers crossed. Thoroughly tested. My code doesn't change major logic. So, oh, are you referring to a text? Are you asking if it is thoroughly tested, or are you giving me the string, uh, string, the phrase to add in the description? Thoroughly tested. So I don't see where I can fit thoroughly tested. It is thoroughly tested, but it may not be uh, what is scalably or efficiently tested. Yeah, it is thoroughly tested. This is the analyze command, right? Just give me vocabulary. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I don't think that is that may fit in directly, but maybe I'm wrong. That's fine. Like it's not that big of a deal to be incorrect in a theory. What? It's running still. That's why. Oh, right here. Here it is. View logs and steps tab. No steps yet. Okay, let's just wait. Oh, I'll comment in that PR. Not this. The one that was created after this. Yeah, reland. Since there are more than just a few changes, I have raised a new PR addressing them and adding a test so as to prevent it in the future. Hope that's okay. Adding you as a reviewer if you. I don't think adding as a reviewer this is fine. And what was the PR name? Wait, I can't delete this? What? Okay. Strike through is this thing, right? Yeah, can be ignored. Okay. Okay, I'm just hoping one of the analysis passes, and if one of them passes, all of the other ones will pass. So, okay, Max Tools, Linux, skip generator. Oh, I didn't even update this. We discussed it, we found the issue, we solved it, and we raised a PR. I mean, it's not a new issue, but whatever. Last is Q&A. If anyone has any questions while we wait for this, you guys can go ahead. What are the chances others have pushed PR for the same? Let me think. So mostly at the time zone where I work, that's Indian time zone, people generally don't work in that time zone. Like all the people that contribute to Flutter, they are generally in the opposite time zone. Mostly. I'm not saying all, but mostly. Secondly, Sunday. So there are very, very low chances that people are working on some issue over the weekend. Thirdly, since this issue does not have a issue tracked, I don't like a good what's the word I'm looking for? The best case scenario would be I raise a issue for this and then assign it to myself and then work on the PR. But I didn't do that. That's my bad. Uh, Always I always assume that this is the last step that it can take, but like the previous PR, this can also get closed, maybe because of some genuine reason. And the last person that I know of that is possibly working on is Taha, and he has already raised a PR for it. So I just commented on his PR that the changes you have made, like it will sync perfectly with mine PR, with my PR, but his PR already works on like something external and not specific to this. So he's trying to fix a few of the issues from the previous PR, but since it is no longer one small issue and it's like grown into two or three different things, like it's a 200 line change, so it deserves an EPR. If I'm not wrong, can I assign it to myself too? No, assignment. See, when I started, like I'll show you my first PR if you want. GitHub, Flutter, pulls created by. What am I doing? My first PR, I waited for a long time, like not long, but quite a while to get it assigned to myself. But that doesn't happen in Flutter. Like it may happen in other open source uh, orgs, but it doesn't. Yeah, so this is where in February 27. I would like to work on this issue, and I never got any update or reply on that. And down the road, I realized in Flutter there is no like need for you to be assigned to that issue to be able to work on it. Like you can just see an issue if you find that it's you can work on it and you are able to find the code and submit it, you're good to go. You can just raise a PR for it. There are very low chances that it will be uh, low chances that it will be like clashed with someone else's PR, or like you can find in the issue uh, that one of them would be saying that hey, I'm working on this issue. Or like the third case scenario is one of the members is working on that issue. In that case, uh, they will add themselves as the assignees. So non-members cannot add themselves as assignees, only members can. So I am a member, I can add myself, but if you are new to the Flutter org, you won't be able to add yourself. So you can just start working on the issue. Just see if you notice, like 27th February is when I asked, and I raised my PR on March 1st. So that's Feb, like a few days later after asking. Because after that, I guess I asked on Discord, and on Discord someone told me that you don't need to wait for it, you don't need to be assigned the issue. Yeah, in other framework, in other open source packages, maybe most probably, yeah, you will need to get it assigned, not in Flutter. Hope that answers your question. Yeah. Did the analyze pass? Yeah, the analyze passed. Flutter analyze, yeah. Linux analyze. Wow, so even if I'm totally new, I'm equally qualified. Yeah, yeah, 100%. You see, the only qualification that you need, and that's also qualification from your actually, no, you don't even need that. You don't need any qualification. Yeah, like even if I open up my like you can be anyone who can raise a PR. There are a lot of spam PRs that occur. Like not a lot, but quite frequently we see a few spam PRs that occurs. So you don't need any kind of see make hello world visible in hello world sample. No, this is like a genuine PR. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can be anyone. Like if you find like a bug in like one of my PRs, I just found a small issue in README and I just raised a PR for that. You don't need anything flashy or something like that. You can even find a bug in like a grammatical mistake, raise a PR and get it fixed. Yeah, 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 that's true. Yeah, so see, I just added a link to a Flutter video that was added, that was created by the Flutter dev channel. It's a very, very good video. Highly suggest everyone to do that. I suppose I have linked it to my YouTube channel. in the description. Oh no, I haven't. Wait, I should. Fix or what's the word I'm looking for? How to contribute to Flutter by Flutter. Okay. I don't think it's this the true power is specific to Flutter anyway. Any open source project you can do that. Yeah, all the checks will pass. So I suppose we can end the stream now. If you don't have any questions, we can end the stream right now. It has been quite long anyway. Wait, let me. Okay then. Bye everyone.